Hello, my name is Adrienne Casebert. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Regional Council Manager for Birth to 5 Illinois, Region 41, covering Madison County. Thank you for watching Region 41's Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment virtual report. This recorded session will provide an overview of findings from the Birth to 5 Illinois Region 41 Early Childhood Needs Assessment, as well as talk about the strengths, needs, and recommendations for improving access to the enrollment in early childhood education and care programs in the region. A link to the full report can be found in the description below. If you would like to turn on closed captioning, click the CC icon at the bottom of the video. This will turn on the captions. If you want a language different than English, click on the gear icon for settings, click on subtitles, then auto translate, and you can scroll down to pick the language you prefer. In 2021, the Illinois Commission on Equitable Early Childhood Education and Care Funding issued a report with findings that highlighted the inequities in early childhood funding in Illinois and the need to create a better statewide infrastructure to support early childhood professionals, expand services and programs for families and caregivers, and increase enrollment in ECEC programs. The report focused on the importance of addressing racial inequities and the need to include local voices in the conversation funders and decision makers were having about early childhood education and care. To provide a structure for communities, families, and caregivers to engage with the data and share their experiences, a new statewide infrastructure was created across 39 regions, all of which align with existing Illinois State Board of Education, regional offices of education, boundaries, but operate independently. Birth to 5 Illinois regional boundaries align with school districts instead of strictly following county lines, which can be a challenge for gathering and interpreting data because many early childhood services are provided by or tied to school districts. Region 41 is located in the southwestern part of the state, with one side bordering Missouri. It is the traditional home to the Osage, Quapaw, Miami, Sioux, Kaskaskia, and Kickapoo tribes. It is part of the Metro East region that contains eastern and northern suburbs and excerpts of St. Louis, Missouri. This region has both heavily populated and rural areas. It is home to a variety of businesses with several large manufacturing and warehouse companies. Others that led this work in Region 41 include Tammy Roble, former Regional Council Manager, and Cassandra Williams, our administrative support. The experience and knowledge families, caregivers, and early childhood professionals gain while navigating the complexities of the state's early childhood education and care system are valuable, and understanding their lived experience in the local context is vital for decision makers to ensure communities have access to the programs, services, and supports they need. To this end, Birth to 5 Illinois was created to harness family and caregiver voices in early childhood education and care, and serve as a bridge between the communities and policymakers, so family, caregiver, and professional experience can guide the decisions made to expand or enhance services across the state. Our mission is to create a statewide regional infrastructure that will amplify input from communities in the development of policies and funding priorities. We support the mobilization of communities to build and sustain equitable access to inclusive, high quality early childhood services for all children and families in the state of Illinois. We envision that our work will help all stakeholders reimagine a more equitable early childhood education and care system that respects family and community voice and works to ensure it is centered and prioritized at every level of decision making for Illinois. We have three main values and goals. First, we must prioritize family voice. Through this transformation centered on authentic family and community engagement, we will address the inequitable distribution of resources and services and rebuild our state's early childhood education and care system. Second, we must address the racial inequities that exist in our early childhood system. In an effort to move our early childhood education and care system to one where racism no longer impacts a child's success. We will work to dismantle barriers that have limited access to high quality services for minoritized children in every corner of our state. Third, we will use the collective impact model to shift the current early childhood system to influence policy and funding at the local, regional, and state level. Birth to Five Illinois will use community-driven feedback to build a statewide system that harnesses knowledge directly from families and providers and encourages decision makers to ensure new and/or expanded services are created to meet community needs.
Two critical parts of the new statewide infrastructure are family councils and action councils. Located in each of the 39 regions, the councils provide feedback on quantitative data from the Illinois Early Childhood Assessment, or IECAM, and the Illinois Network of Child Care Referral Agencies, or INCCRRA, to help contextualize the data at the local level. The councils meet twice a month for virtual, in-person, or hybrid meetings. The family councils are comprised of parents and caregivers from a wide variety of family types: single parents, adoptive and foster parents, caregivers of relatives, teen parents, two-parent families, multi-generational families, and more, and prioritize the voices of those who have not been involved in this type of work before. We want to highlight those who have been involved in our Region 41 Family Council over the past year and thank them for sharing their experiences with the early childhood system. Chelsea Ferguson, Sean Foles, Erica Hennick Young, Crystal Hulsman, Jessica Louie, Kelly Martin, Donna Miller, Alicia Peacock, and Megan Pruder. Action councils are comprised of early childhood education and care professionals, healthcare providers, faith leaders, elected officials, and other community members. Each Action Council reserved 2 seats for parents and caregivers to ensure family voices were included in every discussion. Action Council members were invited to bring additional aggregated data on programs and services provided by their agency and organization to complement data from the IECAM and the INCCRRA. We extend thanks and gratitude to our Region 41 Action Council members: Esther Beard, Christine Coleman, Barbara Corby, Heidi Elliott, Sister M. Kateri Howley, Lauren Jacobs, Amy Knackstead, Kyra Lakin, Terry Masato, Wendy Phillips, Timothy Reimer, Christy Smiley, Amy Villett, Vanetta Wadlow, Michelle Wright.
Beyond the council meetings, additional qualitative data was collected community-wide through focus groups and interviews, and all council members were invited to provide input on each section of their early childhood regional needs assessment. Council members developed the strengths, needs, and recommended next steps that are unique to each region. Regional teams, along with the support of their action and family council members, created a dissemination plan and are holding community meetings virtually and in person to share their report's findings. The following slides highlights data that was discussed by council members and provides some insight into the early childhood education and care landscape in our region. Region 41 is mostly white, while increasing in racial diversity. Region 41 data reflects an increase in 2 working parent households. Region 41 is home to families representing all 11 identified priority populations, people with differing cultures, languages, and religions, children living in poverty, children of teen parents, children unhoused, children receiving support from the Division of Children and Family Services, DCFS, children with disabilities, caregivers with low educational attainment, caregivers with disabilities, children living with migrant or seasonal workers, families that are refugees or in asylum, and families that are not citizens of the United States. While data of children and families from priority populations is limited, there are a few things of note about Region 41. According to the 2020 census, there has been an increase in racial diversity in the Hispanic, Latino, the American Indian, and Alaska Native, non-Hispanic or Latino, and 2 or more races, non-Hispanic, Latino. 12,794 children 5 years and under are living at or under 400% of the federal poverty level, and 68% of children 5 years and under live in poverty. As of October of 2022, 1,470 students in Region 41 were unhoused. The number of students unhoused rose to 1,687 in just 5 short months. As of March 31st, 2023, the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, or DCFS, is serving 670 families. As of December of 2022, 449 children under the age of 3 were receiving early intervention services through an individualized family service plan. As of December 1st of 2021, 567 children ages 3 through 5 were reported as receiving special education services through an individualized education plan, IEP. Additionally, information about priority population was gathered through surveys, interviews, and focus groups, and is included throughout our final early childhood regional needs assessment report.
Community collaborations are an integral part of the early childhood landscape. Local early childhood community collaborations bring together community agencies, organizations, and individuals with a shared vision or goal. Region 41's local early childhood collaboration is the Madison County Alliance for Children and Families. This collaboration began in January of 2021, with the primary focus being to create a coordinated intake for families with home visiting programs as the base. Continuing grant funds allowed for the addition of a part-time outreach worker, and the Birth to 5 implementation grant awarded in December of 2022 allowed for continued expansion, growth, and development of the collaboration. The collaboration members utilize the Integrated Referral and Intake System, also known as IRIS, to refer families to needs services and connect them to organizations that provide resources to families looking for support. The program allows partners to enter information about families and generate a list of what services, resources, and support they qualify for, and what would be best once the referral has been made. This collaboration is interested in expanding its members. More information on the local collaboration and the work they're doing can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Region 41 is home to a variety of early childhood education and care programs and providers, all servicing children based on the licensing, funding, and staffing requirements. But access to early childhood programs and services is not equitable for all the region's families. Wait lists at childcare centers and the availability of childcare in our region is a significant barrier for families and caregivers. Local childcares have reported a wait list of 1, even 2 years. As one community member stated, "I was on a wait list for 11 months and I drive 30 minutes to the center." Some parents have had to quit their jobs or turn down career advancements due to the lack of available childcare, and cited the lack of options and cost of care as a reason they haven't chosen. There's a program that families can apply to through the Illinois Department of Human Services, or IDHS, called the Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP. This program provides families with access to financial resources and access to quality, affordable childcare while allowing caregivers to continue working and/or completing their education. All families are required to cost share on a sliding scale based on family size and income. However, not all providers will accept CCAP due to a delay in payments and a lack of a streamlined process system. Region 41 has approximately 350 providers that accept CCAP funds. There are publicly funded preschool options available in the region, such as Early Head Start, Preventative Initiative, Preschool for All, and Preschool for All expansion programs. However, not all programs are full day, nor do all provide transportation to and from the program, leaving many families who qualify for publicly funded preschool choosing not to enroll them in one of these programs. Additionally, there are not enough spots for families to enroll their child in childcare across all programs in the region, leaving some families with very limited options for childcare. There are 2,875 children under the age of 3 that are eligible for publicly funded early childhood education and care programming without available slots, and 1,043 eligible children ages 3 through 5 without slots. Through community meetings, focus groups, and interviews, families in the region reiterated the urgent need for more affordable childcare and preschool options, staffed with programs and teachers that are well paid for and supported, and who will want to continue working in early childhood long term. Similar to other areas in the state, Region 41 is experiencing a staff and teacher shortage, preventing programs from operating at full capacity or expanding to meet community needs. Early care and education programs have experienced hardships in finding and retaining staff due to inequitable salaries with little to no opportunity to provide benefits. The difference between teacher salaries by care type varies by up to a 70% difference in annual salary, with approximately only 50% of staff receiving benefits. Staff turnover is a big contributor to the workforce shortage and a concern among community members throughout Region 41, with teachers seeing a bigger need for on-site mental health support and more training to be able to effectively manage behavioral needs of the students. This region has a limited number of mental health consultants, and the need outweighs the number of mental health specialists able to provide the support. There are 3 higher education institutions in this region that provide early childhood education programming. These institutions see a need for more staff to teach the incoming student population, a need for more infant and toddler programming, and a need for students to have more direct experience working with students with varying abilities and needs. As a result of the workforce shortage and number of slots, Region 41 families have limited options of programs for children ages birth through age 5.
Parents, families, and caregivers need to be able to access services to engage. Parents report frustration about the lack of awareness regarding community resources, the limited role that they play in decision making, the lack of support they receive when needed, and the lack of parent training. Parents express the need for resources being freely shared so they can find what they need. Parents also express the desire for access to programs that allow for both family and child voices. Parents want to have an active role in decision making and resource allocation. Families want parent advocates who can help them get what they need. They want more training opportunities to learn about access, quality, and inclusivity. They want support when they need it. Families also want their children to be safe, healthy, learning, engaged, ready for kindergarten, and successful in school and life. Challenges that interfere with consistent access to services identified by families includes a current lack of social services and mental health support, lack of knowledge regarding community resources, limited transportation, limited to no choice for early childhood education and care programming, additional support needed to serve children with disabilities, and adequate health support.
Community and council members identified several strengths of the early childhood system in the region. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. The type of programming in Region 41 varies with a strong group of dedicated individuals. Region 41 has an active early childhood forum that meets monthly during the school year, and a collaboration, the Madison County Alliance for Children and Families, which also meets monthly. Members of the collaboration have access to a coordinated referral database. Recent funding has allowed this collaboration to create a brand, host a communal family event, as well as plan and facilitate community play and learning groups. The group is working on distributing books and new family packets to parents at county hospitals to increase awareness of early childhood education and care services. Also, the region has several agencies that provide resources to families in need, such as water, power, food, clothing, and basic household items. Region 41 also has active Chamber of Commerces that support local businesses. And last but not least, we have higher education institutions providing early childhood education. Community and council members also identified challenges and opportunities for growth in the region. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. Families need to have access to early childhood education and care programming and supports. Currently, the number of eligible children far outweighs the number of slots. Early childhood administration and educators in the region, they want to increase their capacity and support so they can provide quality care for the families of the children that currently attend their programs. Specific needs include increased staffing, mental health supports for children and families and their staff, and a streamlined process for submitting paperwork to get reimbursed for childcare subsidies. We also need more support for parents as they navigate the early childhood education and care system. Parents experience a long wait time for specific appointments to determine whether children have certain diagnoses like autism. Families, particularly families with children under the age of 3, have limited access to developmental screenings. Both families and staff need a hub or centralized resource and referral system to know what resources are available and how to access them, as well as direct families to early childhood education and care options. Based on community and council conversations, recommendations have been made on how early childhood education and care programs and services can be improved for families in the region. Recommendations will be presented to lawmakers, state agencies, local elected officials, and funders so they can better understand the needs of families in the region and share the recommendations with them so they can see how to best meet those needs. These are a few of the recommendations made, but more can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Recommendation 1. Higher education and care systems need support to increase the number of staff to promote interest in the early childhood profession and provide training for early childhood educators and specialists. By encouraging institutions collaboration, educators can work together to meet the needs of the region. Recommendation 2. Families need more support so they can provide the best care for their children. By developing a network of parent leaders, families can have support from parents who have navigated the system. Recommendation 3. Families want to have more knowledge about child development. They want to have access to developmental screenings and access to staff that can provide a diagnosis as soon as there are concerns about their child's development. By having community screenings and enrollment opportunities, families can gain knowledge to have access to services that can provide early childhood support when it is most needed. Recommendation 4. Every family needs the opportunity to access quality education and care services and supports. By increasing the number of early childhood education and care slots, particularly those for children under the age of 3, families can have a choice if they choose or need early childhood care. Recommendation 5. Families and providers need to know how to access community resources and early childhood education and care by having a centralized system that houses a current resource list as well as a system that allows all educators to refer families to care and education opportunities. Families can get what they need when they need it and avoid unnecessary wait lists.
This summer, we will be out in the community talking to more families, providers, and stakeholders about their experiences with early childhood education and care. And we want to talk with you. We invite community members, families, and early childhood professionals to join the conversation by filling out a council interest form. Please go to www.birth2 5il.com/councils or click the link in the description to get involved. Interest forms will close later this summer, with council meetings fully resuming in September. We are proud to be a department of INCRA, and we are grateful for funding from the Illinois State Board of Education and the Illinois Department of Human Services. We want to thank our state partners for their support and you for watching. We encourage you to stay in touch with us by visiting our regional page at www.birth-to-5il.com/region 41 or by joining our Facebook group. Links to our pages along with team members' email addresses are available in the description below. Thank you for your time. We look forward to connecting with you soon.